Hey everybody, it's Golmadex, and welcome back to some more Magic Arena. And today we've got another pre-recorded draft for you all while I'm out on vacation. So a flashback to the last set of Aetherdrift before we had Tarkir Dragonstorm. Pretty interesting set. It is based around vehicles and a multiplanar death race and stuff. This is a pretty poopy pack, though. I think this is literally the worst pack I have opened throughout the entire format. So I'm not excited about this. I think I'm just gonna first pick a starting column. Like, this pack is so weak. I guess maybe we're supposed to take one of these two color cards, but I don't even think Legorin's that good if you are green white. And boosted sloop, it's pretty narrow to end up in exactly blue red. I feel like I've added in enough splashy decks later in the format that starting column is just likely enough to end up in the deck to take a hit in power level there. That's not even that big because there really wasn't anything particularly strong in the pack. So started off with a starting column there. Maybe my most embarrassing pack one pick one of the entire format, but who knows? We still got another one of these drafts for while I'm out on vacation. So pick number 2 here. This is a much stronger pack. There are several great options. I'd be perfectly happy to pack one, pick one. There's the Otark Mammoth to top off your curve with, clutter up the board, and stabilize. There's Ranger's Refueler, which is a really good card draw spell for the decks with a bunch of exhaust cards, triggering a piece of card draw every time you activate any exhaust ability. Bosri is another way to clutter up the board. This one can do it pretty early with the Exert ability. And Pact Altair is pretty awesome for any artifact-heavy black deck, which tends to be most black decks. So I think all of those are very reasonable options, but I did just start with a 3-mana Mana Rock. I'm already working my way towards potentially ramping into big endgame spells like Otark Mammoth, so I'm just going to start with that, and we can follow it up with another big 6-drop with the Migrating Ketrodon here. Again, already have one piece of ramp to get these out of turn early, potentially, and they are great ways to stabilize. Ketrodon is very similar to the Mammoth. Instead of giving you a wide board state, it gives you some breathing room by giving you some life back. It's also got reach to make sure to stop all the little flyers, and there are quite a few that can beat you down late in the game here. There's a bunch of 2-mana 1/3 flyers and stuff, and Sky Rays and stuff to worry about, so pretty happy to go Otark Mammoth into Migrating Ketrodon these next two picks. Pick number 4, we have Spike Shell Harrier, fantastic uncommon out of blue, a 5-mana 4/4 that bounces an opposing creature or vehicle, and if your opponent has been working on their speed, you get to reduce it by 1. If you don't remember the max speed mechanic or you haven't played with it, it's that you start the game with 1 speed when you play a Start Your Engines card, and then you raise it by 1 each turn you hit your opponent. And there's a bunch of cards that get a little bit better once you have 4 speed. 4 speed is max speed. So, weird mechanic. That part of the Spike Shell Harrier doesn't matter too much. It's really just 5-mana 4/4 bounce a creature or vehicle. That's a very good tempo play to the point that I think it's better than just a hard removal spell like Spin Out here. So, we'll take the Harrier out of this pack. Pick number 5. Okay. Second Ketrodon, don't mind if I do. Other reasonable options include a Pact Altair and the very efficient Ride's End removal spell, but we'll take another Ketrodon. Pick number 6, here's a Pothole Mole, which is really good at ramping. Not ramping in a sense that ramp usually means you're jumping up the mana curve, so on turn 4, because you played your 3-mana Mana Rock, you've ramped up to 5 mana on turn 4. This doesn't ramp you, it just makes sure that you hit all of your land drops. Because drawing 6 lands by turn 6 does not always happen, so some ways to make that more consistent, like Pothole Mole, do play really nicely with a bunch of good 6-drops. So I'm going to take the Pothole Mole here. Pick number 7, pretty filler green creature here if I just want to keep cutting the color that we're so deep into. But Surveyor, I think, is filler enough. I don't think anybody should take that as a particularly high signal at all to hop into green. So I'm okay to just speculate on maybe green-red for the strongest card in the pack here, which is the Boom Scholar. Pick number 8, pretty weak pack. The Ooze Patrol does play well if we get a lot of copies of Pothole Mole to fill the graveyard up, then this could be pretty big for the cost, but it's really just the best of a bunch of bad options. It's not something I'm super excited to play in green. Pick 9. Here's a Rugged Highlands if we do go the Boom Scholar direction in green-red. Alternatively, Silken Strength is definitely playable. And this is a traditional draft. I'm doing best of 3 today, so we can also take Broken Wings as a great sideboard option. Pretty much 100% locked in on green now, so I think Broken Wings as a sideboard tool is actually very, very likely to help us out. Versus the green-red dual land not being the most likely in the world. I'm only slightly more likely to be red than any other color. I think I'm more likely to be blue than red, because I think Harrier is a better reason to be blue than Scholar is to be red. Pick 11, there's Dredger's Insight. All right. Ooze Patrol might be putting in work here. We have Dredger's Insight for self-mill, Pothole Mill for self-mill, and Ooze Patrol. Possible it gets decently big. Another Broken Wings. The right matchup, they're going to absolutely hate us when we sideboard in a full play set of Broken Wings. All right, what do we have in pack 2? Pick number 1, we got a Stampeding Scurryfoot. Love how this fits into the mana curve, being a 1-drop and a 4-drop with that exhaust ability. But there's also a second copy of Otark Mammoth, which is great at the very top of your mana curve. We'd have 4 6-drops already, which is a lot, but the format does tend to play a little slower, but the reason is because you have so many good, cheap ways to clear up the board, like Stampeding Scurryfoot. So if I pass up on all the good, cheap, blockery stuff, I'm not going to make it to all my fantastic 6-drops. So I think I should take Scurryfoot over Mammoth here, do the kind of disciplined move here, and make sure I've got some premium early game spells as well as late game spells. Come on in, Scurryfoot. Pack 2, pick 2. There are 3 pretty good options here. I think 2 in main contention. I will mention the Molt Tender. Some more ways to ramp up would be nice with all these high mana value cards, and these also fix us to splash in whatever nonsense we want to do. So the Molt Tender is definitely nice, but we have no removal spells yet, so Runover is really high on my priorities here. And Mindspring Merfolk is a very, very huge piece of card draw for the late game. X mana and double blue, and then draw X. So if you spend like 7 mana and draw 5, that's usually how you win the game with that in the late game. I think I'm low enough on removal, and again, just so guaranteed to be green that I'm just going to take the run over there and make sure I have on-color removal, however the draft goes. Here's a second Stampeding Scurryfoot or a Tarian World Tyrant. 2 excellent green cards. Do we get to flash back to the format with just a mono-green deck? That would be hilarious. Take the Scurryfoot here. Another Scurryfoot here, okay. Beast Rider Vanguard and District Mascot are both pretty good. Actually, we have so many Scurryfoots now, 3 1-drops, that it should be relatively easy to saddle this District Mascot early in the game and actually get some extra value off it. So we'll try out the little Mascot rare. Pick number 6, another Migrating Ketrodon. Okay. So I don't really need to take off-color cards. I mean, this is a really nice, a really fitting flashback to the format. If you have not played Aetherdrift at all, or it's been a while and you forgot how it was, this is Aetherdrift. Just a pile of incredible green cards. There's not a whole ton of other cool stuff to the format, in my opinion. There are other viable decks for sure, but if green's open in your pod, you just have to slam the green spells because they are, on average, much stronger than the other colors. The format really balanced out and became pretty interesting where you could do plenty of other stuff later once people really caught on and green became super contested in every pod. But this draft pod feels like one of those early draft pods of the format where it was just like, there's just green everywhere and it's incredibly powerful, so you just scoop it up. Trip up here. We're probably just mono green splash a Boom Scholar because Boom Scholar is nasty with Scurryfoots. Being able to exhaust these for only 2 mana is filthy. Rare draft for some gems there. So what would I be the most excited to open up in our pack 3 here? Second copy of Run Over, that's for sure. Any red removal spells will also splash in. I think those are our highest picks out of anything we could open in this set. Just any forms of removal. Ideally Run Over, but also anything we can splash in. We will do so. All right, pack 3, pick 1. We have a Run Over, so we take it. I'm so low on interaction, I'm taking Run Over over really powerful blue rare. Mu Yanling is a fantastic, fantastic card, but this is pack 3 and I have 0 flyers. So she's still good by herself, right? You can crew up the vehicle token that she makes, and every time that that hits your opponent, you get to draw a card. But she is definitely better when you have some redundancy, some resiliency there, some other creatures with flying in case they deal with your vehicle token in any way. So still a super, super strong option. If I had a decent amount of removal here, I would take her and go green-blue instead of green-red, but I think I'm supposed to just take Run Over here. Pack 3, pick 2. I have 1 Gibberic Omnivore to go with the Fang Druid Summoner, which isn't incredible, but there's not really anything else I'm excited about. If I splash all over the place, I could splash in a Ride's End for removal. I mean, I suppose I could just splash white instead of the other colors because I'm so deep into green. If I'm this low on removal, I can splash white for a Ride's End instead of, blue for Harrier Trip Up or red for Boom Scholar. But hopefully I can find like at least 1 red removal spell instead off the splash and be able to do Boom Scholar plus removal. We'll see. I'm taking Fang Druid Summoner. I like the card a lot. Even with just like 1 or 2 vanilla creatures like Gibberic Omnivore. Pack 3, pick 3. I like Beast Rider Vanguard a lot, but let's get that removal count up still. Grab a Plow Through now. This is very late game removal, because you have to wait until you have a creature that is big enough to fight one of theirs and survive, so we wait till one of our big 6-drops is on the board, but it's good removal at that point. Another Pothole Mole is wonderful. No removal to splash in here. I could play a Thunderhead Gunner, honestly. Going green-red here. But let's get the Pothole Mole. Pick 5. Venom Sac Lagak. I've already got 4, 5, 6, 7. I don't really want to play the Sarcophagus. So I kind of have 6 2-mana or less creatures. Not a lot, but pretty decent, I think, for a slower green-red deck. I think I want to go Thunderhead Gunner over the Venom Sac Lagak here. This is just such a great card in the late game. Ditching every extra land that you draw into. Defend the Rider's good too. Little counter spell for removal. But I like the Thunderhead Gunner off the splash. Ooh, boy, second Boom Scholar. Sorry, Beast Rider Vanguard. I do like that card, but the Boom Scholars play super well with the triple Scurryfoot. That's going to be a lot of fun there. Pick 7. Let's go. Third Run Over. Deck's beautiful. Okay. We could have been mono green and had enough removal. 4 Run Over, double Plow Through in the end. That's wild. We got a whole deck here. I honestly probably cut the Plow Throughs at this point. Just run 4 Run Overs. I will absolutely play another Beast Rider Vanguard. This doesn't feel like a bad Ooze Patrol deck. I kind of still want to run that with 2 Pothole Moles and a Dredger's Insight. But all of my other creatures I think are just better at face value, better by themselves, like no matter what I draw alongside them. Yeah, I'm gonna cut those 3. 16 lands, but I have Starting Column, Double Mole, drawing me an extra mana. Last pick, Beast Rider Vanguard. That card is so much better than last pick. Crazy pod. Wonderful pod. Feels like an early in the format kind of pod here. I mean, honestly, at this point, I'm splashing 3 red cards. The Scholars are great with the Scurryfoots, but those are the only exhaust cards in the whole deck. So I think the Gunner's a better splash than the Scholars, actually, with only 3 exhausters. And like, yeah, like these are gonna be good for sure, but I just got enough green. Just be the mono green machine? I mean, why not, right? We already have great finishers. We already have great removal. Some ramp. Cluttering up the board well with these at 4 and 1. Endgame card draw with Vanguards. There's just no reason to dip into red here. Everything that red is giving us, we just already have in mono green. Wild draft. Double check everything here. Make sure there's no green cards in the sideboard that I'd rather be main decking than anything we have in here. I mean, the biggest thing is that potential Ooze Patrol. This card definitely has the potential to get quite large. As a monocolored deck, we are never going to be stuck off of our second color, which is part of the benefit of running more lands as well, is having more lands of each different color in your deck, more sources of each color. We're not worried about that. We're literally just worried about the exact quantity of lands, trying to hit 6 lands total, regardless of color. I don't think it'd be crazy to cut a starting column or a land for the Ooze Patrol, as we are monocolored, which makes the mana really, really easy. We have 2 Pothole Moles. I think the Insight can pick up a land too. Yeah. Insight can pick up a land. Both the moles can pick up a land. Stitch a land. Keep a starting column. I only have 2 3-mana plays, so there will be opportunities to have hands where I have this instead of anything else. Just drop this on 3 so that I can try to skip on over to 6 mana a little bit faster if I hit all my land drops with it. Play a 6-drop on turn 5. Could help. Could help. It's really close between a forest and a column, honestly. But I'll keep the column in there. Alright, crazy deck. I think this is the only time I've drafted a monocolor deck in the format, and it's with the strongest color in the whole format too, so feels good. Mono green machine. We'll see how it plays out for us as we hop into gameplay. Alright, unfortunately, flooded opening hand, forced mold down to 6. This one is a keep. Ditch the Gibberic Omnivore, I believe. Keep all the mana. I've got a 4-drop. I have a 4-mana exhaust ability. I've got a 5-mana way to dig through any flood as well, looking for more creatures. So keep all the lands. Playing against green-red. Start off with Scurryfoot and pass. Jund from our opponent, Rugged Highlands into a swamp. So green, red, black. Let's just curve out here. Scurryfoot's probably getting shot by something. Not yet. Here's Beast Rider Vanguard. Cycle a Thundering Broodwagon. That's going to be scary if they have a reanimation spell. There's a few of them. There's one that costs green-black to put an artifact on the board that then sacrifices for 4 mana to bring something back from the grave. Spin out the Scurryfoot. Part of what is so absurdly strong about stampeding Scurryfoot is that it's a 1-mana play that either is going to give you your 4-drop as well and guarantee you're curving out really well, getting 2 spells off of the 1 card, or it's a 1-mana play that's going to pull out your opponent's 2 or 3-mana removal spell to kill it, because they would rather spend 1 removal spell to kill it than have to deal with both A 3/3 and a 2/2 later. Okay. We're stampeding and passing here. I'm just going to do this while they're tapped out. I don't think it matters. I don't think there's any way they could stop us from exhausting it next turn. So it's probably better to do it in their end step. But I'm scared. I don't remember this set super well right now. Been doing all these flashback drafts. They do have the Broodheart engine to go with the Thundering Brood Wagon, which is pretty filthy here. So they're gonna get a 6/5 Menace Reach and blow up our 3/3. Alright, well we got Fang Guardian plus Scurryfoot here. Some free damage in there, drop a Scurryfoot pass. Oof, Detention Chariot? The Jonda deck mills the double white Detention Chariot to reanimate now. Broodwagon is still better than Chariot on this board, but it is funny. And Broodwagon is just strictly better, is it not? They must have like 2 pieces of reanimation, otherwise this doesn't make any sense. Because Broodwagon is basically strictly better. Because it would also just blow up the Mammoth. While being a menacey reachy play? Oh my god, that's a big Ooze Patrol. Go team go. Fang Guardian MVP. Oh, I'm dumb. They can just crew the Chariot and block here. Okay. That is safe from Fang Guardian. I go Beast Rider Vanguard here. I don't want to play Ooze Patrol till I can get this Engine Rat off the board, potentially. Fang Druid Summoner. Please don't have a Tarian, that would be bad. Seems good. Send in the Chariot. We're down to 11. They're at 13 here. Guess I have to just play Ooze Patrol as the world's biggest blocker at this point. Okay, not if they give me a Fang Guardian play. They do not have triple green for that Tarian. I didn't even realize that, but that's a huge, huge deal. They have a lot of mana untapped here. It'd be quite risky to try to run over this Pact Altair right now. I think we just play the Ooze Patrol like main phase 2 and try to hope. We actually kind of hope that they get like the green source here so that they tap out. And then I can run over while they're tapped out. Not the green source. The 2 different ends of the spectrum here, very different ends of the spectrum. Green, white, black, red over there. And we're sitting here on 6 forests. Otark Mammoth. God dang it. Yep, this format is chock full of huge blockers and stabilizers and life drainers and big booties and okay. Kind of have to run over that now. I mean, obviously bigger card to run over than the Pact Altair. And they are tapped out right now, so it's our best opportunity. Top deck another Vanguard. That's the first one to find. Starting column Forest. My speed is 0 right now, so Forest and cast the other Vanguard is just better. I can trade my 8/8 into a Detention Chariot so that I don't have to deal with a 6/6 anymore. And then they have to... I think I have to pass here. I was gonna say, then they have to hit the green source to have a blocker big enough to stop the 4/2 at that point. Perilous Snare, incredible bomb rare. No, not really like bomb rare in that it's like super immediately explosive, but it's kind of the modern era of bomb rare where it's just like a really efficient card that does a bunch of great stuff. Last card in hand of combat trick? It is not. We have killed the 6/6. Hello, District Mascot. Goodbye, Packdoll Terror, then? Not immediately, but soonish. Actually blow up the snare and bring back the Ooze Patrol as well. Although I am down to 16 cards. They did hit triple green. Okay, I have to blow up the snare then. That's the only way I'm getting something big enough to fight with Tarion. I mean, I've got the Death Toucher on blocks, but I'm milling out before them, so I need to kill them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 7, 8, 9. This will be an 11/11. An 11/11 at minimum. 12/12. Because the mascot dies too. $13. Pretty nice. I need to be not dead removal, so I can't just activate Vanguard here. I need to play the Legak. Have a blocker for Tarion if they kill the Ooze Patrol. Deathless Pilot. That is an infinite blocker for the Ooze Patrol. And then a land. Okay. Catch it on. I mean, they just block with a pilot, pick it up, recast. But I get to soak up their mana that way. And I still, again, I have the Death Touch blocker up, so... Path Cruiser. They have an island in there too. Is my opponent running triple green Tarion in a 5-color deck? No, not quite. I was going to say they exude the kind of confidence that I sorely lack. It's pretty Gucci with me. Of all the cards to be just the biggest deal in the world. This game would just be over if it weren't for Deathless Pilot of all things right now. So we know we get an Omnivore at worst now. Is all I have left here just like lands at this point? I have a run over, an Omnivore, a Pothole, and lands. I don't think I can break through this board. I mean, if I run over Tarion, I get to start attacking with everybody. I need to be double spelling creatures every single turn, basically. So I need to pick up Omnivore and play it. Oh, I've got a Ketrodon, too. And not know I have another Ketrodon. That's massive. Wait, let me see the order this is going to be. So there's going to be 8 cards. Wait. I'm putting these 4 back? View browser. Okay, I'm putting Omnivore and Runover back. I'm putting 2 cards back. So these 2 will not be there. Oh, I have double Runover still in the deck. Okay, so my next draw is Runover after I put these 2 on the bottom anyway. Cool. So play Ketrodon. Force the Pilot recast. Just run over the world next turn. One, two, three, and then 1, 2. So draw that, activate, draw for turn. Still a couple turns from run over. Land for turn. And they cycled the Night Market. Think they would have killed Ooze Patrol, so let's kill that and get in. Beautiful. I guess Pothole Mill mills too. So if I pick up Pothole Mill and then cast it immediately, I mill the 2 to have run over on top. Certainly at risk of milling out here, but if I do not kill them quickly, I mill out regardless over time. So I'm going full speed ahead. Biggest chance of killing them fast, which is Pothole mill 2 lands, draw into run over and kill them next turn. Oh, it mills 3 cards. Well, another threat anyway. That was a misplay, but we've got super lethal on board by going this wide. Venom Saklagak for the 13/13. Block the 6/6, take 4. I have the last creature in my deck, so we cast it here. We put them to 4. 3 attackers. 4 life opponent if 2 creatures get in. Or, sorry, 4 attackers, 4 life opponent. If only 2 creatures get in, they die. They only have 1 blocker. Even if they cast another blocker or a removal spell next turn, they're done on board. Okay. Let's go. Was looking awkward there for a long time because, you know, Aetherdrift being Aetherdrift, big board stally stuff, and we self-milled a lot. Down to 2 cards in library. But yeah, we've got a good sideboard here. Broken Wings for Broodwagon. Most importantly, Broken Wings for Detention Chariot and Perilous Snare. If they exile anything good, killing either of these at instant speed's a huge deal. Also, being able to Broken Wings a Packdoll Terror is nice. Path Cruiser, not so much, but there's some great targets for the Broken Wings copies, so I'm going to put those in. And anything that seems particularly bad against the 4-color deck here, not really. I liked everybody. I will be on the draw here. They're going to be on the play, so I could probably cut down on a mana, like drop a starting column for a Broken Wings. And then they were low enough on removal that Ooze Patrol just kept clocking in for damage. Maybe one of the Vanguards? Yeah. Still 17 creatures. Sure. Break some wings, hop back in there. Here we are on the draw for game 2 now. Lead with our Scurryfoot. There's their Venom Sac Legak. Don't mind getting that out of the way here. Not worrying about it for any of our bigger threats. Still have 3 more runovers and 2 Broken Wings in the deck now, so we can use our removal a little bit more freely. I don't remember anything they have that could like flash in and kill this, but just in case. I don't think it's really worth the 1 damage to put it at risk. Just gonna kill in our upkeep. Needlessly fancy timing, but you got it. I guess that makes us spend a mana on a hexproof trick if I wanted to hexproof trick that thing, but I was definitely not going to hexproof trick it, even if I had one. Yeah, it's early to Ooze Patrol here. Let's summon her a Gibberick. All right. There's the second white source. Play a Broodwagon. Sure, kill one of my many threats. We are beating down here. They cannot crew the Broodwagon. We're down to 13. Here's a 6/6. Demonic Junker, blow one of these up, they still can't crew anything, they take 5 at least. Sure. They go to 8. Here's a wide, massive board. Milled 2 non-creatures. 2 runovers as the mill is kind of rough. Only 1 runover left in the deck now. There's an Engine Rat. Cannot crew anybody. So they block a Ooze Patrol, take 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, go to 1 on board. Maybe a removal spell in their hand, we'll see. Wait for them to cast removal. Okay. So I'm not going to lethal this turn no matter what, so I think I'd rather draw a card here than Fang Guardian onto the board, right? I guess if I Fang Guardian on the board, I have lethal in 2 turns. So they're at 10, take 5. Okay, I already have lethal in 2 turns. Either way. Yeah, I'm going to draw the card here in case they find a way to stabilize. Okay, that card was not worth it. but like any creature would have been. Alright, they got to top deck something to not die this turn. Right, go to 1. Yeah, it might have been the wrong play. If we had Fang Guardian last turn, that would have been a lethal swing this one. Gets us the kill anyway. Our opponent has some vehicles just stranded there. They cannot hit the creatures to crew them. So some rough stuff from the vehicle mechanic of Aetherdrift for our opponent. That is 2-0 in our first round. The mono green machine taking some names as we head into round number 2. Here we are for round number 2. District Mascot looking very depressed here all by itself, but definitely still a keep. We're on the draw as well, so see how badly our opponent can beat us down. They are also on green. Aetherdrift says, what's up? Poke for 1. You're down to 19. This is mono green v mono green. Okay, luckily we didn't have to run anything quite as filler as a Loxodon Surveyor. Here's a Vanguard. Pass. If we had that on turn 2, this game would be going really well for us. Because if I had that on 2, then I could have saddled and attacked with Mascot before the Surveyor hit the board, then it'd be a 2-2, and then saddle attack again. It's a 3-3 attacking into their 3-3. I've got a problem here, which is that if my opponent has... Get muted. If my opponent has a run over in hand, then they just counter my run over if I try to do it, and they have exactly 2 mana up just sitting there. So... yeah, they have something at instant speed. I'm pretty sure they have a run over in hand. I should just pass here, which is rough. I mean, the mana curve of the hand is really awkward for, like, not just casting run over here. Because I have, like, no other lines, really. Gibberic Omnivore. Now that I have 5 mana, I can start getting Vanguard value. I think Omnivore's super important to this board. Yeah, if I try to run over the Scurryfoot, they just run over my thing, kill my creature, and counter my run over. And that's pretty terrible for me. So I will... I can do it here and force them to spend both their removal spells and not have the mana to exhaust Scurryfoot. No, it would still die. If I run over the Scurryfoot now, they could choose to just exhaust the Scurryfoot instead also. Yeah, I think I'm just supposed to draw the card then. The land is definitely a good draw for us. Obviously no blocks. They exhaust the Scurryfoot. Cool. Okay, playing against the black deck. What do I do here? I've got a lot of options. I kind of want to spread out a bunch of smaller creatures rather than playing one of my big ones yet against black that can have a lot of removal here. I'm going to get this saddled up so if they play any good artifacts, I can just blow them up. And then we play the 3-2 because that's the better card to trade off on blocks. Just why I did that post-combat instead of saddling with the 3-2. I'd rather have the 3-2 untapped ready to block than the 4-2. Go for it. Sure. Go to 10. Tap out for Broodheart Engine. Fang Druid Summoner, bring back the Omnivore. Don't mind blowing up the Broodheart engine, but they don't have anything engraved for it yet. Anyway. Wish I had one more land. I like that this run over is only 1 mana with District Mascot, but I don't think it matters. Yeah, we turtle up. I've got loads of powerful 6-drops in here, so we turtle up now. Sure. Let's do that, so I'm not putting Surveyor in their grave. If they want a sorcery speed Fang Guardian with Broodheart engine, they got it. They do not. That is a sorcery speed ability, so I can mascot away the engine now. And run over somebody. It's the mana to do that is rough. They have 1 card in their hand. Fang Guardian type card or a run over, it feels like. Mill 4 cards. I pick up 1 from among the milled cards, so I can't pick up something that's already in there. So that's going for randomness and hoping for the best. I can Insight and run over and use my saddle ability. Well, and blow up the Broodheart engine. I think I gotta just be turtling up still, though. Just get blocking. Surveil 2. Keep them on top, so they've got good draws coming. That concerns me. Surveil the top and draw it. Land. And what is the card? 1, 2, 3, 4 activations. Is it, what, the Death Touch thing? 4 activations. Jesus, that's a 6/7? I mean, the Death Touch thing's a 1-for-1 here. The Mammoth and the Token were both from the same card, so if they both die here, that's fine. Sure, it was the run over the whole time. All right, we're golden. Now we just get way ahead. Because they're out of removal, I can blow up the Broodheart engine. In fact, this is small enough I get to attack with Mascot here and blow up the engine. Guess I should see what Insight hits here. Those are not real Magic cards. At least we got them out of the way. Saddle is so painful here. I need the saddle to be able to run over well. Run over this Mutant Surveyor. Then I have no blockers up. I take 5. It's worth it. The Surveyor hits so hard otherwise. Alright, take 5 engine, slam down, catch it on every turn while they're top decking. Yep, 1 extra draw from Surveyor, but that's better than taking the 6 or 7 of the face. Top deck Broodheart Engine. I should have guessed, honestly. I should have guessed. Another Broken Wings matchup for sure. Solid draw. Engine rats. Straight gas. That is the feeling that irritates me the most in the world, is like when I play into a manner that's like, I'm ahead on cards, their hand is completely empty, they have to top deck perfect now, and then they just top deck Broodheart Engine, Engine Rat. It's always the most frustrating area of a game for me. Just when it gets to this point. So we train the Engine Rat and then they Broodheart Engine it back. But then they're out of the Engine Rats. Still got a lot of huge draws left in there. 17 cards left. I have 3 runovers still in the deck. Ketchadon and an Ooze Patrol for our biggest threats, and 3 Scurryfoots for solid stuff. But they just drew a massive card draw engine and Ooze Patrol in perfect sequence, and milled a Ketchadon for their Broodheart engine. Broodheart Engine back in Ooze Patrol too. Force a double block here. Actually, they have Crackback lethal with the last ride if I hit them too hard. If they just take all the damage, then crew the last ride and hit me for like 11 if I put them to 2 here. Like I attack for 10, they can take it all and then Crackback. So I can't like saddle send everybody in here. I can saddle and send these two in. I still have Summoner to chump that at worst. Because they don't have a removal spell vehicle in their grave. No. Alright, they're gambling on top deck removal, I guess, for this last ride. Come on, Scurryfoot. I've got 3 of you in there. Okay, that's a sad combination of draws, but I gotta play it safe here. With how large they chose to make the last ride. Surveil to the top. The good top decks continue. Get a Ketchadon and Turtle up, and we're going to be hanging out for a long time. Siphon fuel our card draw engine. So immediate top deck removal plus life gain. And then, yeah, engine back, a Ketrodon, and turtle up. And now we get to stare at each other for a couple centuries. Let's go, Aetherdrift. Watch them outdraw us with their last ride. That is the only flaw I think that our deck has at all, which isn't really something we could control in our draft pod. We just don't have any bombs. We didn't open any bombs. So last ride could take things over. They are milling out before us right now, so there's that. We did draw into our Beast Rider Vanguard, copy 2. So now I still have a card draw engine, which is nice. Okay, they must have something really good here if they're choosing to go down to 4. That is dead on board. Yep. The insta-bobble for Vanguard. Obviously activate. Find Scurryfoot. There's a Venom Sac Lagak. Pothole Mole for us. There's 5 cards I don't know of. 2 Runovers, Ooze Patrol, and 3 Forests are the ones that I know. So out of those 5 cards, is 1 Migrating Ketrodon, 2 Forests, and 1 Pothole Mole. It's not the end of the world if I mill a Ketrodon, I think. Although that I do mill out before them if I cast this mole, and I don't if I don't. Well, no, I actually don't either way. Even if I cast... Yeah, no, I do. It's mill 3, so I have 8 cards left if I cast it. I guess we kind of have to double up on the mill plan at this point. Could try and attack, I'll go for lethal, but they keep surveilling things to the top, which means there's no way they don't have a removal spell in their hand. So yeah, again, if their hand is not removal, we can attack all and get the kill. Even if it is removal, I still get the kill. Even if it's Siphon Fuel. Block, 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 block. Kill and gain 2 there at 6, take 4. Okay, no, if it's Siphon Fuel, they kill us. Sit here for 8 turns and hope they don't have a bigger bomb. Or attack all and hope they don't have Siphon Fuel. Alright, whatever. If you got the bigger bomb, I can play around it next game. Should have played this mole. Do some digging. Do some digging. Do some digging. If they tap again, they're tapped out of Siphon Fuel. It has to be double removal if they activate again. I don't know how we won that. Oh man. All right, double broken wings. Well, do I want double brokens? They have one copy of the last ride. 2 copies of Broodheart Engine. There are 3 total targets. I saw about 30 of their cards and saw 3 targets. We saw 0 flyers for Broken Wings either. I actually don't think I should put Broken Wings in. I could put Plowthrough in. This doesn't blow up the Broodheart Engine, but it blows up the last ride. And it does have more flexibility. I think I'll play a Plowthrough over Starting Column because this is like... It is going to be like our Broken Wings for their Mythic last ride if that card shows up. But also, if it doesn't show up, we can still fight. We can still fight. So, yeah, I'll play Plowthrough over Starting Column. Again, when we're going to be on the draw, I think we can cut another Mana Source. Because we've got another draw step to hit lands. Alright. Starting Column for Plowthrough on this matchup. And head to game 2. That's a curve out right there. Imagine this hand on the play. Still great on the draw. One Saki boy. I can take 3 here. I have a Ketrodon coming up. Got 2 blocks with Scurryfoot as soon as I hit my 4th mana. Did not draw land, so I Pothole to guarantee it. Really guaranteed, apparently. Say hello to my worst enemy. The last ride immediately this game. Well, we're the aggressor now, I think. Saw no board wipes from our opponent. So I'm gonna go for Mascot as a potential answer to the last ride here. Scurryfoot. So I got a 3/3 blocker up now. Oh, you Broodheart Engine can pick up a vehicle. Ay, ay, ay. So if I kill the last ride, they just engine it back. Think I still do it to soak up all their mana for the turn. If they draw a card off this, they're not activating Scurryfoot. Yeah, so now they don't activate Scurryfoot, and then if they want to bring it back, they have to also not activate Scurryfoot next turn. So this keeps the pressure on, and it lets me play Insight to hit land 6 guaranteed for Ketrodon. Hobble Vanguard. Respectable draw. Hit the sideboard piece. I like that. They are threatening to spit out a 3/3 blocker if I attack in. I don't think they would have killed the first Vanguard if they didn't have a way to kill the second one. I think they would just kill the Scurryfoot at that point. Would they not? So I'm tempted to just activate Vanguard here to get its value before it dies. But that doesn't feel right when I could just slam down a Ketradon. Siphon Field Vanguard, sure. That was expected. If Ketradon's not a big enough creature for them to want to siphon that instead of Vanguard, then I'm curious as to why they held the Vanguard over just, the Siphon Field over just casting both during their turn. Because that's the biggest threat in our holdback. I guess Otark Mammoth exactly would have been a card that could have convinced them there. Okay, having Ooze Patrol here is rough. That is too big for my plow through to do anything about. Can double block and force a recast off a Broodheart Engine. Alright, well, they did mill a land here, so their top deck is pretty much blind. And of course, it was instantly Siphon Fuel. Sick. Hello, Otark Mammoth. You are also sick. Basically have to draw my own Ooze Patrol now. I have a playset of Runover in here still unscathed. Did they really double it up here? You know what? The Crackback is good enough now to take this, I think, when I can saddle a Mammoth. Just the Scurryfoot? Oh yeah, the Crackback's good enough. Oh, especially with Runover. Cool. Now they're tapped out of the second Scurryfoot. Do I run over instead of plow through because the plow through can kill the vehicle? Guess so. No, I probably should have run over the Death Toucher. Guess who's back? Alright, kill me with top deck removal. Alright. Game 3. Can't wait to be on the play here. Because this matchup is frustratingly board stally. So hopefully we can just jam here and get it over with. And that would be important because we've had to do a lot, I think, in these giant board stalls, so I am on like a 10-minute clock now too. Alright, let's get in there. No last ride one time. Alright, here we are on the play for the final game of Magic. This is not the kind of hand I need, not starting till turn 4. We have to mulligan that, especially because the Ooze Patrol is going to be tiny on that turn as well. Nothing in the grave. This is much better early. Okay, I have to get rid of a Vanguard. So we're trying to hit 5 mana here. Removal is pretty important in the matchup. One Guzzly Boy. The baubles are rough for us. It feels like they probably have a bauble again. Yeah. Seems good. It's a very bad draw at this point. I need some beef for it now because they killed our Scurryfoot. I mean, them just constantly having all these baubles has been brutal. Our Scurryfoots have played much worse in this matchup than they should on average. 3 for 3, baby! Say hello to the massive card draw engine. Can't really run over into open mana over there. They do have a copy of Runover in their deck. If they run over against my Runover, we're in a world of pain, as I am drawing a 6-drop with 4 lands on board. Surveil both to the top. Broodheart Engine. If I hit them for 4, the last ride gets to hit me for 7. Because then it's a 4/4. They can activate. It gets hit me for 6 is what it does. Because they can pay life before doing it. When I still think against their deck, our best bet is just trying to outrace this thing here. Because if we're not, they're drawing so many cards off of it. They're reanimating things with Broodheart. It is just awful. The Vanguards lock in, make sure we've got that 6th mana to gain some life, get a 6/6 down next turn. Put us to 6. Play a land, drop an Ooze Patrol. No longer guaranteeing that next mana, because I can kill this thing Actually, if they have a run over, they can still counter this by crewing first and then responding. Because then they can run over for 1. If they don't mill a creature or land, then this is fine. If this is a 5/5, that's fine. If they have a run over in hand, casting run over loses us the game. But if they don't have a run over in hand, this is our best opportunity to kill Ooze Patrol. Because there's a chance that they mill creature artifact. If they go 2 for 2 and mill perfectly, this is too big as a 6/6. Unless they mill perfectly, though, the Ketrodon's big enough. Okay, they didn't go perfectly. Sorry, Otark Mammoth, I do want bad, but can't. They're going to run over Ketrodon for sure here. Yep. So we would have lost the game if I tried to run over last turn. I think I've had a very solid read on exactly what's in their hand and stuff at all times, but it just doesn't matter. We're down a card here from the mulligan in their hand has been tremendously powerful all 3 games. But we'll see. We'll see. There's still a chance whose patrol goes the distance. It's a very small one. Oh, don't have double run over, please. This could just be the crew last right at this point. Okay, that is not how big I needed it to be. Double miss. Die to any removal. I have to chump the last ride. Rough. They can just pay to draw a card and make it big enough to survive at instant speed as a trick. Oh, and they already have a trick if they're attacking both. So they have a trick they'd rather not play here. Even if I run over the last ride to try to get them to pay 2 life so that Ooze Patrol's a one-shot lethal, they can just Brood Hard Engine back a blocker main phase 2 to live regardless. So that's not even a winning play. So that would be if they had nothing here, and with how long they thought, they definitely have something, so it's just not a play at all. And that's going to be the worst. If it literally comes down to had I milled 1 non-land card here, we would have killed them. I'm going to lose it. Almost definitely not. If they're not cracking the engine for a blocker here, then the last card must be like just the removal for patrol. They just wanted to play it safe. Well, that's magic, baby. That's so frustrating. Oh, who would have guessed? That's crazy. 1 and 2, heading into game 3. All right, here we are for round number 3. With the mono green machine. Pretty ridiculous deck here. We are 1 and 1 right now. We had some unfortunate draws last round. Unfortunate mills as well. Our opponent had a very solid green-black deck, just loaded with removal, which is the best stuff for killing all the big creatures, the big green stuff. But they hit us with the early Grim Baubles and Last Ride in all 3 games to stop our Scurryfoots from doing anything and then draw a million cards. Alright, this game is going really well so far. Just playing our Scurryfoot Solitaire game over here. Getting a ton of creatures on board, working our way up to a bunch of mana for the Mammoth and the Ketrodon. Getting some real solid trades. Cool. Four toughness, just out of reach. Not excited about any play I can make, which I guess means we just activate a Scurryfoot. Alright. Pretty happy with that. Lightning Strike at 3/3. Mist Land 6. Pretty unhappy with that. But I still have plays here. Let's keep the Spike Spitter from raising any speed and just get the Summoner down. Hi, special guest. Limited Mega Bomb Sky Sovereign coming in from the top rope all the way from Kaladesh several years ago. Blow up any of my creatures every single turn that attacks and hit me for 6 every time. Grimbauble off the splash. Okay. Sky Sovereign is just far and away the scariest thing happening here. Change this one card out, and I don't think there's any way we lose this game with the way that our cards match up against theirs generally. So, we're just going to have to sideboard completely around Sky Sovereign and hope to dodge it forever. Could have started with Ketrodon, but I want to start with Mammoth here to force removal onto that. And if they don't removal spell that, we know for sure we can block Sky Sovereign with Ketrodon. Plus, if I hit another land, I could go catch it on plus run over, thanks to Mammoth being a mount. Hour of Victory, alright. This works too. Should just double run over. Okay. Was really nervous about the Sky Sovereign there, but just clear out all the blockers out of nowhere. Let's cut a starting column. Run a plow through because it kills. I'm gonna run both plow throughs because they can kill the Sky Sovereign and are still relevant otherwise. This seems like a quick enough matchup to cut an Ooze Patrol here, maybe, or like one of the Vanguards. I'll cut one of the Vanguards here, and we'll hop back in there. Round 3, game number 2. All right, here we are on the draw for game number 2. District Mascot turn 1, Beast Rider Vanguard. Saddle it up, send it in. Sadly, we're on the draw here, so not going to be big enough to attack into a 2-mana 2/2, but they just have the turn 2 Grim Bauble still. So Forest into Swamp, they're either the full-on pure Jund here, or game 1 was a really weird lineup and they're actually green-black splash red. Okay, these draws are terrible, but if Beast Rider Vanguard doesn't die, he can dig us out of them. Okay, Thrill Roller, don't care too much yet. Definitely not worth plow throwing because they can just bring it back. Oops, I meant to click the all attack button. That's just a perk playing digital magic. Get a misclick there. Oh my god. Our opponent is hitting us with the Oops All Rares deck here. Thrill Ruler, World Wagon, and Sky Sovereign. Certainly an uphill battle when it comes to the highest card quality cards in their deck. When it comes to bomb power. What have I gotten myself into here? Good grief. Alright, well, we can plow through the World Wagon next turn, hit with everybody. I probably should have just plowed through it last turn. I forgot that I can do that, even when it's like uncrewed as well. I was still of the mindset of like, yeah, I'm definitely not killing Thrill Roller, but killing World Wagon immediately would have been fine. See, here's the problem here as well, is that like I'd really like to play Ketradon, but I think I need to just kill World Wagon. Double plow through. Funny, but only one really matters right now, until I get Ketradon out too. And it's plow through the World Wagon and activate Vanguard. They have a 1-mana removal spell? Jesus. Alright. Will our opponent stop casting rares? Please, that is a request. Stop. Give me a break, man. Okay. Game 3. I mean, I think the hand's good in this matchup. Plow through kills all the scariest cards in their deck except Thrill Rollers. It's a little floody, but we can use the insight to get a creature instead of a land. Come on, Shuffler. No lands off the top, please. No lands off the top. Thank you. I think I'm supposed to trade on blocks. Because if I attack and they just don't block, that's pretty bad for me. Need to mill one creature, please. Thank you. We have not seen a lot of exhaust in their deck. So if I can find one of our playset of runovers, we can deal with the expert. One black mana instant removal too? What? It's gonna just plow through this thrill roller, but that doesn't look like a thing anymore. It's gonna double block expert, plow through thrill roller. Take it all, play 2 blockers. Hit for 8 2 turns in a row is a kill. Summoner gains me a life here too, so I'm at 6 with 2 blockers up. Multiple removal spells to clear the path for the kill next turn. Man, this is the matchup of just scrapping here. The rareless deck versus the like 6 rare deck. There it is! Sky Sovereign's here. Think, with only 1 mana up over there, we just lethal them though. They don't got the instant speed removal. I mean, it's not lethal because they can crew. Yeah. But then I can plow through that and force them to crew the Sky Sovereign. Or I can just plow through the Sky Sovereign. Forest in hand, I don't really got much of a choice but to click the all attack button. Two and 1 is the final record for that round and the draft. So a solid average draft here. Beating a whole lot of rares for that final win, but not quite breaking through the green-black matchup. They just have too much good removal in the color pair. All the Grim Baubles for the early Scurryfoots, the Siphon Fuels for the late-game threats, but still pretty solid showing for this deck. I even think our green-black matchup was reasonable. Like if we replay that matchup indefinitely, or indefinitely. We probably have like a 50-50 win rate there. Just kind of lost the coin flip a little. Round 2. Yeah. I don't know. I think this is pretty much about the strongest deck we could have drafted in this pod. Green was just so open, getting a bunch of scurry foots, the big Catrodons and Mammoths to top it off, all the great removal. I like the sideboard options as well. Those plow throughs being consistently good. Broken Wings as well being interesting multiple times. Probably could have gotten a slightly better deck if I did dive a little deeper into a second color somewhere. But I'm really happy with the deck we ended up with, and it's pretty classic Aetherdrift nonsense, just being a bunch of incredible green cards. But that is going to end today's video. As always, I'd like to thank my patrons and YouTube members for their support, as well as you for watching the video. If you enjoyed it and you're interested in seeing some more like it, you can always like, comment, and subscribe to tell the YouTube out, send you some more recommended feed. If you'd like to catch me live, you can check out the Twitch channel in the link in the description below. And if you'd like to support the channel directly, you can check out the Patreon link in the description below. But other than that, as always, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you again soon for some more Magic Arena.